What's up, Mets fans? Orange and Blue Thing back at you, Season 7, Episode 11. I am out here by myself, actually. For the first time ever, we talk about it each week where, like, Julia gets here by the skin of her teeth. It is actually 1:01 p.m. here on Tuesday, May 2nd. And mark it down in your calendars that the day has finally come where I am starting the show by myself. Julia should be here in just a second. She had a crazy morning. And her getting here at all is a feat in itself. So she will be here in just a second. But anyway, usually this is where we talk, and I sit and talk to her about her week and what happened maybe in her life leading up to our Tuesday show. It is Orange and Blue Thing. This is the 7th year of doing the show, and I appreciate you guys checking in. If you're watching live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, we appreciate your live views. If you're listening afterwards as a podcast, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a review, let us know how we're doing each week. We really appreciate it. So if you're watching from the platforms, we can see your comments here coming in live on the screen. So I appreciate that as well. Let us know where you're watching from, and we will highlight some of you guys on the show. So the Mets are 16-13, 3 games back of Atlanta, and tied with the Marlins for second place. After today, they are headed to, actually tonight, they're headed to Detroit to play the Tigers for 3, back home for 3 against the Rockies, who both of those teams are pretty horrible at this point. So not that the Mets are blowing the doors off anyone. Obviously, we've had our injury problems. And this week, we should be seeing, starting tonight, Lucchesi, Scherzer tomorrow, and then for the first time ever in a Mets uniform in a real Major League Baseball game, Verlander Thursday in Detroit, and then Senga on Friday back at Citi Field. So we will see what happens this week. I'm already looking at the weather reports tonight in Detroit, and it's not looking too great. Let me highlight this little tweet here that I was going back and forth. Actually, not back and forth, but I retweeted this. Oh, what did I do? This tweet from Mets Weather that I think you should be following if you're not. I don't know where you've been. If you're on Twitter, go to @WX Mets. This is not the first time I'm highlighting this account. I don't know who runs it. It is not an official Mets account, but they do have some good information when it comes to the Mets game. So this tweet from earlier today, about a half hour ago, it says, not a good weather day in Detroit. Temperatures in the mid-40s, winds gusting near 30, and showers. Most of the rain will be light, so they can likely play through some of it if they wanted. But with how bad it is overall, a decent chance they postpone. So if that happens tonight, then obviously the Mets. Oh, look who's here! Look who decided to show up. I know. It's okay. I was kind of struggling in the beginning, but I think I'm going to be okay.
Now you understand my struggle.
Julia is here. Happy to have you. I'll talk to you in just a second. So yeah, if it does get postponed tonight, which we saw Friday, honestly, Friday's game shouldn't have even counted. If honestly, I take it back. If the Mets had won Friday,
totally should have counted.
Then it would count.
Right.
Since the Mets did lose on Friday, you weren't there, but sat in the rain for hours and then had the hour-and-a-half rain delay, which we did actually go into the Queens, what was it called? K-Corner for the first time ever.
Did you?
Popped in there.
How was it?
It felt like it was McFadden's, but it's not McFadden's. It's too bright.
But it felt like
I mean,
McFadden's.
only because like when I had to go to the bathroom, I didn't have to look for it. You know, I knew where it was.
It was familiar.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm not planning to go into the K Corner at least once this year, but
right.
I was kind of forced to on Friday. I didn't want to stand in the rain. That's where our friends were going.
How much you pay for beer?
0.
Didn't buy any?
No, Justin, you gave me one. So not that I wouldn't have bought a beer, but I don't know. Like beers had to be expensive there. But when I showed up, Justin, you was sitting on the corner, kind of where like Evan would always hang out in that corner. And he had a bunch of beers there. And he said, hey, you want a beer? I said, sure. Not that I wouldn't have bought him one back if I was staying, but I appreciate the free beer, Justin, you.
Love that.
So as I was saying, tonight the Mets might get rained out. I don't know if you saw the weather report. It's not looking great in Detroit.
I've just been driving in it.
You've been driving it. It's been raining nonstop in the area, as you've seen. If you're a Mets fan, obviously that's why you watch our show or you know about the 7 line. But it's no secret that on Friday, the game, they played 5 innings. It really just took until someone was going to score and then they were going to call the thing.
Right.
Unfortunately, the Mets did not score and they lost that game. Saturday was rained out. Sunday was rained out. Yesterday was a doubleheader. So the weather has not been on the side of the Mets. And if you remember, opening day in Miami also rained. So our tailgate got screwed up in Miami.
Damn.
Then the non-rain rain out for the home opener,
right,
which you had to miss. And then the next day was like 40 degrees.
Yeah.
So the weather has not been on our side this year.
Terrible.
Yeah, so we will see what happens. I know Verlander is scheduled for Thursday, which would be nice to finally see him pitch for the Mets. exhale now because as we know, we shouldn't count our chickens before they hatch. But
Yeah.
having Scherzer back tomorrow, Lucchesi today, who's been looking strong, and then Senga on Friday, the Mets have to string together some wins. But the biggest surprise I feel like of the season so far, when you look outside the NL East, is that the Yankees. I mean, I get it. It's not. This isn't a Yankee show. We don't want to always shit on the Yankees, but to see
Right.
them in last place in April, playing 500 baseball is kind of surprising. They're like
In May.
They're 9 games out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. In May.
Yeah.
It is May 2nd. It is my anniversary. Shout
Happy
out to Kelly.
anniversary, Meenan!
9-year anniversary
Woohoo!
today. Yeah, and the Rays have almost like 25 wins already.
Crazy.
Like a month into the season.
Bananas.
Yeah, nuts. And
Love that.
and still nobody goes there. You could be like a 150 win team and no one goes to
No
your
one's
ballpark.
going.
It's crazy.
No, but
Let me look it up. It's not 25. I think they have over 20. I'm almost positive.
all that
And the
matters is
Pirates are in
Yankees
first
last
place.
There was a graphic. Hold on.
The Pirates are 20-9.
Whoa.
The Tampa Bay Rays are 23-6.
Damn.
That's nuts.
Did you see there was a graphic floating around on Twitter and it was like, like the lunch table meme of like
Yeah,
which
yeah,
table
yeah,
you're
yeah,
sitting
yeah,
at?
yeah.
And it was like all of these tables are teams that have the same amount of wins. And I was like, there is no one in this image that this isn't humiliating for, because there are so many teams that shouldn't be good that are doing really well. But that makes it fun because I feel like eventually the good teams, hopefully, because I'm including the Mets in this, are going to kind of get on more of a roll, wake up a little bit, and then it might be a little more even by, the All-Star break. It won't be like, a division has been totally run away with already. So
I just
like
said Tampa Bay is 23-6. Who's 6-23?
Oh,
Also in the American League.
I would guess the A's.
Yeah. So Oakland's complete opposite records. 23-6 for Tampa Bay, 6-23 for Oakland.
Poor Oakland.
They probably combine a total of like 2,000 fans that go to both those ballparks too, which is insane.
Sucks.
Oh, speaking of weather too, Daniel Murphy is supposed to have his opening day tonight at the Duck Stadium.
Yes.
But who knows if that's going to happen with the weather.
Oh, I know. And if anybody follows Tori on Instagram, she had such a journey to get here with all 4 kids. So I hope they play.
Did you see his home run the other day?
I did. That was awesome.
Same swing. I mean,
So
I guess
sick.
I was told he changed his swing, but it looked the same.
Yeah.
His swing is so like recognizable that you could see that. You could see from like the outfield. You don't even know he's
Right.
playing. Like, oh, it looks like Murphy.
It's Daniel Murphy, yeah.
So he did go yard. I don't know where they were playing, but he had a home run over the weekend. I think it was Saturday.
Love it.
So we are going to let me see. What did I talk about already? Well, I'm going to Knicks game tonight.
Oh, you
Yeah.
are.
I'm going. I pulled the trigger on Tick Pick.
Wow.
I'm going to the game tonight.
How much did you spend for
Game
it?
2. It was still an A+ deal, but they were over
Okay.
$400 each.
All right.
But I mean, it is what it is. It's a playoff.
Listen, it's a playoff game. It's actually not bad for a playoff game.
I've never been to a Knicks playoff game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting. We were kind of going to wait it out. And like, it was almost like I was just saying, don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Right.
You're looking at who their next opponents could be. I know you don't really follow, but it would either be the Celtics or the 76ers. And I was like, well, why don't we just wait till next round and spend, I'm already
Counting it out.
counting it like the Knicks won the series,
Right.
even though they lost game 1. Game 2's tonight.
So funny
see what
because I feel like
happens.
that's how I was doing it with like the Mets last year, being like, oh, it's guaranteed they'll at least make like the NLCS. It's like,
Yeah. All right.
oops.
Like, oh, well, I can't maybe make all 3 wildcard games, but
I was
I'll
like,
be there
well,
next
they're a
week.
Full NLDS.
Yeah. And then, World Series and, plan the parade.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But also, condolences to our Rangers and Islanders fans out there because you guys both had a sad week.
I was watching last night. I mean, I'm not a Rangers fan. I you know what it is too? Like I say I like the Islanders. I did go to Rangers games when I was younger. I never really picked the team.
Right.
My sister was dating this guy in high school who was a Rangers fan, and I feel like I didn't care one way or the other.
Yeah.
And then when I started to become friendly with a lot of fans that are Islanders fans that would, the crossover was so big with the Satellite Army. I was like, all right, I guess I'll just
Same colors.
be an Islanders fan
Easy
now.
enough.
Yeah. So I did pick the Islanders, I don't know what, 4 or 5 years ago. And I've been having fun when I get to go to games. But anyway, Tick Pick tonight.
Love them.
If you're looking for tickets to anything, Knicks, Mets, not Rangers or Islanders, unfortunately.
But maybe the Devils sometime soon.
Devils, Jets tickets are in high demand right now, which is nice to see that I want to see pretty much
how long that lasts.
any team succeed, especially in New York. Even though it's fun to poke fun at other fan bases because that's what we do
Right.
as New Yorkers. obviously, we would like to see other teams do well as well. All right. So anyway, if you're looking to buy tickets to pretty much anything, Taylor Swift concert, Supercross,
the ticket prices are going
Knicks.
up.
Well, you got yours,
They're
right?
going. I didn't get it.
What?
I didn't buy them yet because I might.
Did you do the price freeze thing?
No, but it's okay because it wasn't a good seat, and like if I'm gonna actually buy it, I'll wait till like day of. It'll drop a little bit, but I might be able to have my friend get us tickets through her work.
All right.
In which case,
that would be even better.
Yeah.
Don't.
So I'm holding out
Okay.
to see. But
So if you can't hold out for your friend, that might get you free Taylor Swift tickets that are worth like an arm and a leg. Head on over to TickPick. What's going on?
I don't know. What was that? There we go.
Head on over to TickPick. We love TickPick. You can buy tickets for pretty much anything. Go into the search bar up here. Type in what you're looking for. I hit Mets. And for this Friday, Cinco de Mayo at Citi Field, $7.
Damn.
Saturday, May 6th, you can get in for $13. Sunday, May 7th, you can get in for $7. So this is like, it's kind of sad because we're saying how cheap the tickets can be or inexpensive the tickets can be, but it also just makes our team look bad too. That tickets are this inexpensive to go to a game on a weekend in May. But head on over to TickPick. We love them. Great prices, no fees, directly into your ballpark app or whatever app. Like I bought my tickets today for the Knicks game. It was right into my Ticketmaster app. It was like
sweet,
pretty much within like a few minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty instantaneous.
Good to go. So even like I was thinking about too, like, oh, maybe we won't buy the tickets right now. Maybe they'll go down on our way into the ballpark, into the MSG today, and then I just buy them on the train. But since you could search, I found an aisle seat.
Ooh.
And being a guy that's 6'2", I was like, let me just spring for these
nice
tickets, stretch my legs a little bit.
Yeah.
MSG's tight as it is,
nice.
especially when
Who are you going with?
Kelly. It's our anniversary.
Oh, I know with Kelly. I didn't know if there was anybody else.
No, just us.
Love that.
Sorry, Kel. Happy 9 years. Stay home. I'm going to the Knicks game without you.
Kelly was coming, but I know you guys and Tara and Richie go a lot together, so I didn't know if anybody else was coming with. But that's very nice that you're having just a solo date night to the Knicks playoffs game.
Yep, absolutely. It's gonna be a fun time. So, why is this guy calling me now?
Answer.
No, I can't. I am waiting for an important call, and the guy actually says, if you see my number, you answer it.
Oh, God, don't do that to me.
So I have to. I might have to take it.
Shit.
So we are going to play. I skipped last week accidentally.
God.
There's a reason behind this, and I'll tell you why in a second. But we are going to play Guess the Baseball Card Round 8 in just a second. But please tell us where you're watching from. Also, you may notice that we have the robot knit.
God.
Did you initially think that these were going to be?
This is terrifying.
But
I don't like it.
I love it.
Blech.
I love that we have a yin and a yang on this because on almost everything on the show besides the grass, we agree with. And I liked when we don't agree on something.
Hate this.
I loved it.
No.
Okay. Anyway.
Terrifying.
You're talking fans out of wanting to go to the game now.
You should still go to the game. If you're going to the game for this, I don't know what to tell you, but you should go to the game regardless and buy your tickets on TickPick.
Thank God that I didn't forget to tell Julia that, like, this is a sponsor or something like that. She's like, I don't want this.
No, I've seen this, and I already told you that I found this terrifying. We've discussed
you did.
this.
You said that right off the bat when the announcement came out.
Not for me.
What was going on this season? Well, let me backtrack. I initially thought this was going to be like a knit because it said
me too. I thought it was going to be bigger. I thought it was going to be like an Annie doll that was like going to be haunted.
Right, but it's hard. I guess it's made out of plastic.
Yeah.
Or resin or something like that, but it's made by handmade by robots. So what that says to me
is that mean? Robots don't have hands.
It's probably like you're being very critical.
But what does it mean?
I think it means like 3D printed. Oh, if I had to guess.
Okay. Like I was truly wondering what that's supposed to mean.
It should just say made by robots, but handmade by robots. I guess it's a series because the box for the Mrs. Met says 173 and the box for the Mr. Met says 172. But either way, last Saturday was supposed to be one of the giveaways, and then it rained.
Oh.
That was the Mr. Met. So the Mrs. Met is this Saturday.
Was it not given away at
No, they're going to do it for the makeup game.
Got it.
So if you are going to the game on Saturday, which we are with our group, are you going to the game on Saturday?
I had every intention to, but I can't for work. I was not able to get the day off. They actually need me there.
Okay. So Julia's not going. And guess what? She doesn't want it anyway.
No, who wants mine?
So I'll take two.
Yeah.
We are going to be giving these away. We haven't decided how yet. We used to do the retweet contest. I guess we could do that, right? Let's do that.
Yay, retweet contest.
So retweet contest is back for this week at least. And the winner will get to select the Mr. Met or the Mrs. Met. We have both of them. Thank you to the Mets, even though Julia doesn't like it. Thank you to the Mets for sending them to us. And just like the grass, she won't get one.
That's fine.
I sometimes ask for an extra. We have an extra. You can't have it.
Nope, that's all good.
So we're going to give them away.
That's fine.
Retweet if you're watching on Twitter. If you're listening afterwards as a podcast, head on over to our Twitter account at The 7 Line and retweet today's episode. It is labeled whatever this title is. It's about what is it? Today's title is Putting a Dome on Citi Field, Italian Heritage, Mental Health, and the Mets. And we'll get to the reason why Italian heritage and mental health in a second.
I was just going to say, because you sent me the title, but you didn't
Italian mental.
Yeah, you didn't include the word health, and I was like, I have no idea what any of this means. So I was like, I'll just let him explain.
We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, retweet right now. If you're watching on Twitter, if you're not watching on Twitter, go over there and do that later. And that's how to be put in the running. It's the easiest way for us to do it, because then I can instantly DM you and I don't have to worry about tracking you down on YouTube or Facebook or shit like that. So that's the story. All right. So guess that baseball card, round 8. And there's a reason behind this. And you'll know in a second, because an earlier round, I sent you a tweet yesterday from Jay Horowitz. And that's why we're playing this again, because it's going to all tie together. You will see. Let me get that tweet ready just so I'm ready to transition over.
I did not have fun last time.
Yeah, but this one, you'll get this one. It's gonna be pretty easy.
Okay.
So also chime in the comments if you want.
Yes, help me.
This baseball card is from 2017. Okay.
I blacked out that season, but okay.
Okay. So pitcher Logan Verrett marveled at the spark blank brought to the 2016 Mets after he was signed in June. He's like a can of Red Bull balled up into a human being, and that's something we were lacking. So if you could just think of who did the Mets maybe get around June of 2016. If you don't know yet, I could keep going.
Keep going. I have no idea.
So in 2015, he was on the Rockies. Before that, he was on the Blue Jays. Before that, he was on the Blue Jays. Before that, he was on the Blue Jays. Before that, he was a Met. So it's a guy that was a Met, went to the Blue Jays for a few years, played for the Rockies for a little bit, and then came back to the Mets. How do you not know this right off the bat? I think you had a long day.
I had a really long day.
You want me to just show you the card?
Please, I'm brain dead right now. I'm like, I literally don't even have.
He wears number
idea.
7.
Oh.
Come on. Okay.
Wait. Jose Reyes.
Jose. That's the first one you haven't gotten.
You never said he went to the Marlins.
Well,
I would have gotten that if you said Mets, Marlins.
Well, it just gave me the rundown of that on the back of the card.
That threw me.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
We do know he went to the
I should have
Marlins.
gotten it anyway, but I also was thinking it was a pitcher for some reason. So I've never.
Well, that threw you off because it started with the quote from Verrett.
Right. I thought it was a pitcher. I was never close. Sorry.
All right. So a bunch of commenters got it right, and you got it wrong.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gianna, by the way. I don't know if she's watching live, but we're talking about the commenters, and guess what? She got 100 on her report that she did.
Let's go. Love it.
So if you weren't watching, you don't know about this, Gianna, who's a loyal fan of the show, fan of the brand, whatever, asked, she's a college student now, and asked if I could help her with an article. And she wrote a whole story about the 7 Line and me. We did an interview on Zoom.
So awesome.
And then she got 100 on it. So
love to hear
Shout out to her. I love it. So the reason why I say this all ties together, because earlier in the year, you did not know the Bill Pulsifer.
I'd never heard that name in my life. And I'm sorry to anyone that makes
you're a little bit younger, and it is what it is. So Bill Pulsifer, who was an earlier contestant on Guess the Baseball Card round 8, round whatever, that he didn't even know he was on, will be throwing out the first pitch this Saturday, which is also Mental Health Awareness Day, which I didn't even know was a thing.
I knew it was a thing. I didn't know it was this Saturday.
Yeah.
But that's awesome.
Jay Horowitz put it out. And he said Pulsifer was one of the first athletes to talk openly about his inner battles. And I know that I will be clapping for you, Pulse.
That's incredible. I wish I knew who he was. I find it hysterical that, like, because it was the last time we played this game. We forgot to do it last week. So it was 2 weeks ago. And it's so funny that, like, immediately after, he's now throwing out the first pitch, relevant, and I had never heard of him prior, but that's wonderful, and I'm very happy to hear it.
Absolutely. So if you go over to Jay Horowitz's Twitter account, he has a link that goes to the Medium Insider MLB blog. So I guess I didn't even really know this existed, but the Mets have an insider blog, and I guess Jay writes on it. So
love that.
Jay wrote a whole thing about Pulsifer, and hoping that he'll hear some loud cheers for him as he throws out the first pitch before Saturday's 4:10 game with the Rockies, which we will be at. So if you don't know about Bill, he was the second-round draft pick of the Mets in 1991. That's why Julia doesn't know about this. And he was supposed to be a key part of Generation K. However, injuries and multiple bouts with anxiety and depression derailed his career. So that's sad to hear. Yeah. So shout out to him. We will be cheering for you from center field out on Saturday. So the reason why I also brought up Italian, well, you know what, let me backtrack. Okay. Because you were, I don't know what you said in the text, but something about Mental Health Day, I feel like that's nothing to make a joke about, right. But a lot of fans say like building a Mets fan builds character.
Oh yeah, I wrote my college essay about this.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it?
How being a Mets fan made me a mentally strong person.
No way.
Yeah.
Did you get 100?
It's not graded. It's to get you into college. You send it in with your college applications.
I don't think I ever had to do that because I went to community college.
It's supposed to be like an essay that kind of like exemplifies your character, work ethic, what you kind of bring to the table.
Did you ever see 21? No. What?
Please.
The movie 21?
No.
Where the kid goes to college and he learns how to play blackjack with Kevin Spacey, and they go to Vegas every weekend.
No.
And he makes all this money and
Never
he hides it in the roof
of
his dorm room, and then he if I'm spoiling this for you, he like double crosses Spacey. Spacey steals all his money. He goes back to Vegas and he's trying to get into college anyway. So he didn't get in initially.
Did he write an essay?
And then he wrote an essay about this. And the end scene of the movie is him sitting back with like the dean of whatever admissions, right. And he's like reads this new paragraph or new whatever essay, and the guy was like floored. You have to see it.
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
How did you not see 21?
I'd never even heard of it.
Speaking
what
of
year did it come out?
I don't know. I could look it up right now, but it was a great movie.
Okay. Fact checkers, get on that.
I'll look it up right now.
Okay.
I got the Google over here. 21, 2008. Were you alive yet?
Yeah, but I was like 13.
Oh my God.
What was it rated?
I don't know.
If it was rated R, I couldn't get in.
That doesn't matter. That's like saying you never saw a movie.
Well, it does.
All right. Is 21 based on a real story? Yes, it is. That's
so off the rails.
Who cares? Whatever. This doesn't even look familiar to you?
No, I've never heard of this.
All right. Well, I've been saying for years, I want John Flynn to learn blackjack, and I want to be his bank.
Yeah.
I want to be the Kevin Spacey. Well, Kevin Spacey is like a horrible person.
Yeah,
I heard.
No, don't be Kevin Spacey.
So I don't want to be Kevin Spacey.
Don't be Kevin Spacey.
But the character of 21.
Got it.
With John Flynn. Mm-hmm. So I've been saying, John, man, you're so good with numbers. Try to see what you can learn.
He really should.
I should.
Yeah. John, get on that.
Maybe it, man, I don't know. Oh, it's PG-13.
Okay. So I could have, but no one took
to see it. You just didn't go.
No
All right. Anyway, put it on your list of things to watch. 21, great movie. Anyway, so Italian heritage. Did you hear anything about this on Twitter the other day?
Nothing.
Okay. So the Mets, before I go on to this Italian heritage thing.
I make such a good co-host when I'm like this clueless on everything.
Yeah, it's great because I'm just telling you
literally
everything.
Just inform me and get my live reaction.
Yeah, it's great. So here we go. The Mets have 23 giveaways and 12 theme nights this season, from bobbleheads to bucket hats. But when you scroll down, this was on the Odyssey site, I guess, after the Mets had their What's New event. The celebrations include this Saturday's Mental Health Awareness. In June, they have June 2nd, Fireworks Night. June 3rd, Hall of Fame Induction, which I forgot that's coming up already.
I know.
June 16th, Pride Night / DJ Night, which I'm not a big fan of DJ nights after last year, but it is what it is.
Right.
June 26th, Black Legacy. June 29th, Filipino Heritage. June 30th, another DJ night. So I guess Fridays are just DJ nights. Yeah. I'm going to skip those. July 14th, Fireworks Night. August 11th, also Fireworks Night. August 13th, Irish Heritage. August 14th, Korean Heritage. August 25th, Japanese Heritage. August 26th, Women's Equality. August 27th, Taiwanese Heritage. And then we get to September. September 1st, Chinese Heritage. September 3rd, Jewish Heritage. September 15th, Hispanic Heritage. So after seeing all these dates come out, I guess the folks over at the Italian Heritage were angry that they were not included, I guess.
Was this an actual legitimate organization or
Absolutely.
just fans?
No, it's a real thing.
No way.
They put up a pretty big deal about this the other day on Twitter. And within the day, the Mets replied and said, okay, well, we're adding it. I'm serious.
That's amazing.
So I guess they deleted the initial tweet because they have this the check here, whatever, the blue check. So they're able to make like a really long tweet. And they wrote like, we reached out to Mets multiple times. It's been radio silence. They're not interested.
Really?
They were basically calling the Mets out over like they basically worded it like this is our last effort. Like they didn't want to go this route,
right?
But they went that route.
Yeah,
to blast
no one's
the Mets.
getting back with.
And then I guess they deleted that after they came to some kind of agreement with the Mets. So
well, listen,
shout out to that's what the power.
That's
of Twitter.
how you get people's attention is put them on blast.
Power of the Twitter. Yeah. So Italian American Baseball Foundation. I don't know how long they've been around. Let me see. Established in 2016. They are a 501c3 organization, so it's all legit. But they wrote update. Earlier today, we voiced our desire to have an Italian heritage game with the New York Mets. Thanks to our voices and commentary on social media, we now have a meeting with the Mets next week. So I guess it's not like
official
in stone, but they're at least going to have a meeting.
Okay.
What they wrote was the Yankees don't just do a day, they do 5 games.
For Italian heritage?
Yankees have like 5 straight days of Italian heritage. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, then the Mets should really answer a phone call.
Yeah. So it says, stay tuned for more updates. These games are an important part of the recognition of Italian American heritage and culture in the game. We have worked hard to develop these games across the country and hope to bring one to Queens in 2023. So at least like they're getting a meeting, which is exactly what they wanted after putting out that tweet. But if you look at their account, I mean, there's Piazza all over the place. Like they basically just share like the Italian heritage games for Yankee Stadium are September 5th to 10th. So
I love how that was conveniently posted like right after
5
this
days.
whole debacle.
I think they may have pinned it.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It is a pinned tweet. So yeah, I guess they highlight different different Italian players that either do something great for their team. Like we were talking about the Pirates player the other day.
Yes.
And he actually got his first hit and first RBI.
Love that.
On April 29th. So yeah, they basically highlight, oh wait, is this it? Nope, they deleted it. I wanted to find like the scathing one and talk about that as well. So Italian heritage is maybe coming to Citi Field.
Okay.
I don't really know what happens at these heritage nights. I know sometimes they
it's
do
just like a
music.
pregame ceremony. They bring people on the field to like kind of a parade sort of thing.
Do you remember they were doing like little concerts outside Citi Field, outside the rotunda, like to the left when you're walking from the train to the left of the Home Run Apple? There's like a stage set up.
I don't remember
like
stage.
Local bands.
I feel
and
like
stuff.
I remember like music.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Do we need to protest?
I don't know if they do that anymore, but what's that? Protest? No, we're not protesting that. But I did order a shot collar.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Katie has one we could have just used.
Well, we'll put 2 on then.
Perfect.
So I ordered a shot collar for Julia.
Let's go.
Well, we're gonna start doing it like if she's like late at all.
You know where we should do
Actually,
that?
no.
Well, no, I don't know if it'll be hot enough, but I was gonna say if it is supposed to be a hot day, we should do that the day of the Hall of Fame ceremony because they'll be there. Because that's a big.
What date is that again?
June 3rd.
That's a Saturday,
it's
right?
A Saturday. Only if it's like hot.
Hall of Fame induction June 3rd. Yeah, I mean, sure. But like I said, we can't talk about it because then he's gonna get leaked. There's gonna be a leak.
He's not gonna miss up that opportunity. It's gonna be a sellout crowd.
Okay.
Ideally, hopefully.
All right. Well, yeah, we hope. I think it will be. So, yeah. Anyway, if you want tickets to that, shoot over to Mets.com. I'm sure there's some tickets available. That's not an outing day for us, so I'm sure a lot of our group will like to be there as well. So,
yes.
Remember last week I talked about, hey, the Oakland A's put together those discounted tickets.
Yes.
And then I announced that the Nationals did as well.
Yes.
The third team that I said I was going to tell you about, and I didn't leak it because I wasn't sure if it was official yet. It is official. I'm waiting for the link to be shared my way, but it is the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Ooh,
which I think a lot of fans are going to be excited about because
PNC's
Pittsburgh's awesome and it's a weekend.
Yeah.
It's June 9th to 11th. Again, this is not an official Army outing, Army gathering. It's basically a way of the home team recognizing what we've done with them in the past and saying, hey, it's not an outing year for you guys, but we will put tickets together in a certain section. If Mets fans want to purchase them, it doesn't include like a shirt or anything, but wear your favorite Mets gear and then at least sit together. So when you get there, you know that you'll be surrounded with other Mets fans.
Such a good idea.
So that is going to be the deal June 9th until the 11th, 9th, 10th, 11th. I'm jumbling my words a lot today for some reason.
Okay.
And the one for DC is up right now. So I have that on the website. If you go to the blog area, you can scroll down. It says sit with other Mets fans at Nationals Park. The links are live. Those games are the 12th, 13th, and 14th, which is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I didn't even realize until today, until someone pointed it out on Twitter. That's a 4-game series.
Oh.
So there is a game also on Monday. That's not part of our deal, but if there is enough interest, maybe we can add that.
Okay.
So basically the way it works is you go click the link and it brings you to this website, similar to how we're doing the not the Nationals, the tickets for Boston.
Uh-huh.
And you can just scroll through it. And it says, it's obviously a Nationals setup thing, but enjoy this offer for the 7-Line Army. And you scroll down, you click the tickets you want to purchase, and that's it. It's super easy.
Cool.
The other part about the Pittsburgh package that's pretty cool is that I think the tickets are going to be like $50 and $10. That's the concession credit. So
oh, sweet.
Same thing, kind of like Boston
does.
Like
$10,
you're going to spend that.
Yeah.
But like Boston, they were like, remember we did the math?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we'll give you, not give you, but we'll put these tickets together and then bang you out for $50 per head on concession. So
crazy.
Pittsburgh smart, $10. I mean, it is what it is. What is that at a ballpark? Nothing.
Literally nothing.
Piece of dirt, a crumb for $10.
Some grass from the outfield.
Yeah, that's priceless though. I mean, you don't even want it, and it's priceless. So Friday night, rain delay. Well, rain out. Well, it wasn't a rain out. They started on time. By the 5th inning, we kind of knew what the writing was on the wall. I was sitting there getting soaked, and the topic comes up about a dome.
Uh-huh.
So is it possible to add a dome on Citi Field? Would they add a dome on Citi Field, and what would that cost?
Mm-hmm.
So is that something that would you want there to be a dome on Citi Field? I personally hate dome ballparks.
I would never ever want it to be up unless it was actively raining. Like I think the heat, like the sun, all that's like an authentic part of the summer baseball experience. That's fine. But it is annoying when you're like super excited for a game, you have plans to go, and then it gets rained out. So for the sake of not having rainouts, yes. But like I know, like, and granted, like Arizona is a different beast than New York, but I know like their dome will be up if it's just like a super hot day.
Well, yeah, because it's brutal. I don't know how anyone even lives there.
It's very different. So that I understand. But in New York, I wouldn't want them to use the dome for just like hot or even cold. Like, just that's part of the game. I mean, schedule the season better. Stop playing so many home games in April, which I feel like they didn't really this year. I think they scheduled it pretty well.
Yeah, not that many home games so far this year.
It was very smart of them to do a West Coast trip in April.
I can't believe the Rockies ever play at home in April.
They really shouldn't. They should have like the whole last month of the season should be at home. And like, I mean, well, even September. But yeah, September's better than April.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm with you on that. So I personally hate domes. I'm not a big fan of it. Like you said, I like the elements. Even like opening day this year, it was raining outside, so I'm glad they had it.
Right.
But on a normal day, I don't feel like you're at a baseball, like you're watching baseball, but it's like you said, you don't get the sounds.
It almost
the heat,
feels like an exhibition game.
The wind,
like it's not real.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. If they did add a dome, which I don't think they even could after they built that gigantic scoreboard. How do you fit that thing under a dome?
They can't go. I remember like this came up like I think the year Steve Cohen took over the Mets, and he like basically explained that it's just too expensive to do to like
it's like $800 million
to do to an existing stadium and like what it would cost, and so I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, but I'm with you. Weather wise, I would only want it if the game was going to have to be canceled,
right?
Then close the dome. Otherwise, leave it open.
Yeah.
But they were talking about this yesterday on The Fan. I don't know what show it was, but how many events they could potentially add if they could use the facility year round. So they would make so much more money in the off season.
I don't care.
Oh, we don't care. But I'm saying like as a venue, they already have I mean, I got married there, but they have a bunch of events that aren't baseball related. And they could certainly add more things in the off season. But now with there being a potential casino there or whatever it is, and then across the street there being the soccer club or soccer stadium, there's going to be a lot of stuff to do around that area. So I mean, I don't think they're really worried about the money, but I think that John Heyman was really just looking for something to write,
stir the pot.
And so he put out a tweet on the 30th, which was Saturday after their rain out on Saturday. And he said, Mets need a retractable roof to avoid another weekend like this. Steve Cohen looked into it and found the price tag exorbitant. Huge price listed in here because he wants you to click it.
Right.
But it would be the greatest gift to fans, even better than the best free agent. So I did read this. I gave him his click. He's basically saying he'd rather a retractable roof instead of Ohtani on the Mets.
Because he's not a fan. Because he's just wants you to click his article and talk about it.
If you do click it, I was scrolling through and I read this earlier before you got here. Oh, you know what?
What?
I made a burrito thinking I was going to have to wait for you. I was going to sit here and eat a burrito, and then you showed up.
Oh my god.
So here's my lunch.
I contemplated bringing my tropical smoothie in, but I didn't.
We should have.
I actually inhaled it on the way over. It was messy, but it's fine.
So if you hit the link that Heyman put up, I guess he was like humble bragging that he was texting Steve Cohen about this.
Of course.
So he said, at one point in our text exchange on Sunday, he suggested an alternative to my retractable roof suggestion. Let's put small umbrellas on helmets. is what Steve Cohen said. So I guess like at this point, it's just not. Oh
God! Don't do it to me! Don't do it to me! Don't.
No caller ID. I'm sorry. No call for you. It's not going to be a long one. It's basically going to be.
Any amount of time I have to talk by myself is enough.
I got an offer on the RV.
Really?
So I said no to what the offer was.
Okay.
And then I said, go back to them and tell them I want this. Because it's now I got a third person, like a third party involved where they take a cut. And after I did the math on paper, I was like, man, they're going to take so much. Like, I'm looking for this number. If you can get this number, then I'll take it.
Yeah.
So he said, well, make sure you answer the phone if you see my number. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, it was almost to the point where I was like, wanted to tell, like, you work for me now.
Yeah.
Like, don't. It was weird.
Don't tell me what to do with my phone.
It was very strange. Well, no, I get that he wants to make the deal, but like, he's making a good amount to basically just have it on his lot and be like, what's your offer? And then calls me.
Right.
He's going to get a cut. So I was like, pump the brakes, dude.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I'll answer when I can. Hopefully you guys don't hear that, but I hear something in my ears right now. So
I don't.
You don't? All right, good. So anyway, we are going to give it another crack this Saturday at Citi Field. And by what I mean by that, you don't hear that?
No. Now I do.
Oh my God, that sounds horrible. Hopefully people.
Not really. It was like slight fuzz for a second when you twisted that, but no, I think we're fine.
All right, show goes on. So as we're talking about domes, I'm almost positive. I'd have to check with Mets weather guy, whatever, WX Mets or whatever it is. This weekend, we are going to give it another crack and try to have a incident-free, weather-related.
It's supposed to be nice.
I hope so. Tailgate at Citi Field, because opening day in Florida. What's up? Oh, good.
Perfect.
Good. Opening day in Florida was a wash with the tailgate. Opening day at home with the rain out was just chilly, and it was still fun, but like you're near the water, it's kind of not as enjoyable as it could be.
Especially when the day before was 75 degrees inside.
Right. And then this past Friday night at Citi Field, also rain. So we're gonna give it our fourth best try.
I'm having a stroke on air.
I don't know what's going on. You know what it is? I think that my mouth is very dry.
Okay.
But I also kind of have to pee. So if I drink more water, I'm like, man, am I going to make it through the hour to not have to get up and leave you
here? No, don't leave.
So May 6th, tailgate at Citi Field with the Seven Line Army this Saturday. The game is at 4:10, so I fully expect fans to get there like 10 or 11 in the morning.
Right.
Especially if it's a nice day. Why not make a day of it? So if you don't know where to go, just go to the blog on our website and you can click it. There's even a map. Marina East, Corona, New York, 11368. I will have a gigantic cooler of beverages that is free. So please come and take it. Don't be shy. Like, I have to tell people, like, please, I don't want to, I do not want to go home with this.
Yeah.
It's heavy. I don't want to carry it. Please
take something.
Indulge responsibly, but if you see like that big gray cooler with a black cover,
right?
That is the free. I gotta make a sign. That is the free beer.
Yeah.
Free drinks. Come and take it while supplies last. Don't be shy. Be responsible as well, and make sure you find a garbage can. Don't make the lot a mess, because we love the Mets, and we don't want them to get mad at us. So I just got a text from Andrew Indart. He's going to be here in 10 minutes. Hopefully he knows to knock on the back door.
Why is he coming?
Okay, so listen to this.
Okay.
Mr. Indart, did you see the photo the other day on Friday night?
Was it with him and Amelia?
No. So on Friday night, we had our tailgate, and he decided to not park in the lot, remember?
Oh, yes, I did see this. I did see this.
I do see Andrew walking down the sidewalk, and I'm like, why does this person keep calling me?
Maybe it's the guy.
It's not. If you call me with no caller ID, I am not answering your phone call. I'm sorry. So this photo is so good. I know you guys can't see it, but let me see if I can get close to the camera here just to explain what's going on here.
Go ahead.
As you know, Andrew Indart, who was a guest co-host, you can see his name on the wall here. It says the General.
It made the wall.
Yeah, he's on the wall when Julia couldn't hang that week, and he does not like the parking prices. Neither do we. and he decided that he would like to save the $32, which is a lot of money,
Right.
to park up at the parking.com in the mall, whatever.
Yeah.
So as he gets to the corner, I could see him checking his watch, probably to say, how much time did I save? Hold on.
Hold on. I have questions. I have questions. He looks alone, but he didn't make a man to do that walk, did he?
No, and that's why he's here.
Okay.
So this person with the no caller ID.
Enough.
If someone doesn't answer your call and they hit deny like 6 times,
I
and
give
still
you
calling,
permission if they call again to answer, just because I'm curious.
I don't answer no caller ID. I'm sorry.
I want to know.
Text me. I think my voicemail even says,
text me.
I think it says, I don't answer the phone, text me. I'm pretty sure it says that. So Indart saved the $32 by parking up the street, but Amanda works in the city.
Yeah.
And I guess he had to like bring her shoes, or something happened where I had to hold their shoes.
Okay.
So he's like, I'll pick these up after the game. And then he didn't go back there because he didn't park there.
Right.
So now he has to come here to pick the shoes up. So all this inconvenience of him driving around Long Island to save the $32, was it really worth it? Was it worth it?
I don't know. That's only a question that Andrew himself knows the answer to. I don't think so.
No, I texted him today. I said, he said, can I go get those? Can I pick those shoes up? And I said, yeah, it's going to cost you $32.
But it's also like, I'm going to be very honest. Like at this point, how short the games are and all that stuff. Like, I don't think I'll go to many games that aren't 7-line outings.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Did you only go to one?
Yeah, I just went to the Bark in the Park. And granted, like, it's a pain in the butt because I loved them before this job, but now I hate all of these 4:10 starts on Saturdays. It's very hard. Like I have to be at work at 5:30.
Yeah.
So, and I really can't, like, there is one, I unexpectedly had to take the whole weekend off last week. That was not a planned trip. My grandfather was sick, so we planned it last minute. And I had already taken off a week earlier in the month to go to my brother's wedding. So, and next weekend or 2 weekends from now, I have a wedding in Jersey I have to take off, and then the next week is the Taylor Swift concert. So I have to stop.
Where's that concert?
I'm getting obnoxious. It's at MetLife.
Did you see that something came up yesterday? I don't know if it's an old clip of hers, but she was like, someone posted on Twitter about like she wanted to like say something about like something political, and like her dad was being,
it was
like,
from an old documentary.
He was like, don't say anything, and she's like, I have to.
Her dad was saying that because Taylor Swift has a lot of like dangerous stalkers that have broken into her house and have like tried to hurt her. Yeah.
In her home?
Yeah, they've gotten into her apartment.
She doesn't have security?
Well, now she has a lot better security.
Jesus.
That was like early in her career. But his whole fear is, if she comes out and makes a political statement that's anti-Republican, she's afraid. And there's lunatics on both sides, but she was afraid that some lunatic was going to try and kill her for it because she's, she has influence. So that was that. But yeah, no, that's old. That was from her Miss Americana documentary. It's on Netflix. I highly recommend watching. But yeah, my point being, I have to stop. So also this Saturday, I was going to try and take that afternoon off, but the senior sanctuary I work at is at my boss's home, and it's their daughter's 8th birthday, and they're having a party at the house, and it would just be wildly inconvenient for me to be like, you guys need to figure this out today. So I have to.
All right, so you'll go to a game eventually.
Eventually, I'm trying to get there, but yeah, these 4:10 starts suck. If they were 1:10 like they used to be,
yeah,
I did before this.
Yeah.
And even if it was 7:10, because I usually finish by like 7, I could just pop over.
Yeah.
I think what I'll do, there's an outing the 20th, right?
Yes.
What I'm going to try and do, I have the wedding in Jersey the night of the 19th. We're staying overnight. I'm going to try and come and at least come to like the tailgate, maybe the first inning, and then go to work. We'll see. I just feel bad. I want to use my damn ticket. I love my seat and I can never go. So
you will.
We'll see.
So speaking of something to see, Friday night, my favorite part of the night, because the Mets lost and it is what it is and sat in the rain.
Right.
Buck wearing the Queen zip-up sweatshirt.
Yeah, that was awesome.
How sick.
Who got that for him?
His son. I looked it up.
Oh, you looked up the order.
I looked up the orders, yeah. So
it's amazing.
So William Showalter bought it in December.
That's sick. Maybe it was a Christmas present.
It must have been. Like, he bought a bunch of stuff. He bought like a flag, and I sent Buck or dropped off Buck the Home Run Apple inflatable, which I think he does use at home.
Yeah.
But so William, his son, bought it. But on Friday, we're sitting at the tailgate, and I get a bunch of DMs from people being like, "Hey, have you seen this yet?" And it was Buck. I guess there was a dog on the field for some reason.
Yeah, I think it was like a service dog or something.
And it was Buck wearing the
sweatshirt.
sweatshirt.
For our joint brand.
Yeah, right.
7-line shirt with a dog.
If only Buck would like get a dirt bike. Buck Showalter popping wheelies at Citi Field.
You'd be perfect.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So yeah, that was like the highlight of my Friday. Besides, hanging out.
Yeah,
playing
that was
cornhole
really
and all that.
cool.
And if you haven't seen it, I'm scrolling back here because oh my god, you see that rough jersey? And
No.
who would have a rough jersey?
Somebody lost a bet.
I don't know. The girl wanted nothing to do with it when I asked her like what it was about. I was trying to find out.
She probably either had no idea or she lost a bet.
Right. So that's why the Mets are hosting show dogs from the Westminster
show
Kennel Club.
dogs.
They also brought this bear, Pearl. Why'd I say bear?
Probably just looks
was
like
like making
bear.
a joke.
Yeah.
So Tim Healy posted this photo of Buck saying what's up to the dog. And everyone started bugging out, at least, people that I'm friends with.
Right.
Because they could see the Queen zip up sweatshirt here, which is sold out, unfortunately, because this would have been great to have on the site, available on the site at this point. But it was funny as we were driving to the game, I was talking to Shu about how if you notice a lot of our products, if there is no woven label on the shirt, there's always a small T7L on the top of the logo. And when I first started doing that very early on, people were like, well, why are you doing that? It takes away from the design. But now I feel like people don't even kind of notice it's there.
No.
It's kind of like the Nike check or whatever.
It's
like
not something that I've ever
it was just
noticed.
branding. And I was like, hey, if I'm building a brand,
Right.
have the logo on there somewhere on everything.
Right.
I don't know what kind of sweatshirt this is. I'm wearing a Knicks sweatshirt.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they don't have the logo on there,
Yeah,
but they
yeah, yeah.
should because
Like you'd know.
anyone wearing it would be like, hey, where'd it come from?
Right.
So I shit you not, like an hour after I have this conversation with Shu about like, oh, I always put a woven somewhere if there's no like printed T7L. And then this photo comes out
That's also
and you can see the
it.
T7L
You can
so
see
clear
it, yeah.
on Buck's pocket.
That's sick.
Yeah, so shout out to Buck. I totally appreciate it. And that was my first indication that the Mets were wearing black that night. Because I didn't know that the jersey, I didn't know what uniform, I didn't care to even look
Right.
it up. But when I saw that picture, I'm like, oh,
Black.
they're wearing black. So
That's awesome.
speaking of some other product information or product stuff, I don't know if you've been to the site today. Julia probably hasn't, but anyone who went to the site today, the home run light up train thing sold out in 10 minutes.
No way.
Yeah, so that's gone.
That's awesome.
I wasn't sure how many to get because I had to order at least 144.
That's a hard thing to gauge
and they're
interest
so
for.
expensive.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we've sold the inflatable, but this is the first thing we've ever selling that includes like batteries and stuff
Right.
like that. I wasn't sure what to charge. They're heavy. They're large. It's like 10x6 or something like that.
Yeah.
And whatever. My worries were put to rest because thankfully they sold out.
Amazing.
I had to invest a lot of money in that product. But if you do go to the site now, I don't know if our little border covers it. No, it doesn't. So if you go to the site now, you'll see a countdown timer on the bottom of the site.
What the countdown was for.
So this Sunday night at 9:07 p.m., it is the 7-year anniversary of the Bartolo Colon home run.
9:07.
9:07 p.m. It took a little digging to find out,
Ah.
but I asked Twitter, which they usually have the answers to anything.
Of
No
course.
caller ID again.
Answer.
I'm not answering.
Can I
it.
answer?
No, absolutely not. 9:07 p.m. is when Bartolo hit his home run because if you remember West Coast game, it was 9:07 Eastern time because it was a 4:00 start there, which you hate, but now you probably loved that day.
I did
because we got to pregame early in the McFadden's there,
Yes.
parade over to the ballpark, and it wasn't like we got up at like 8 a.m. to go to the
No,
tailgate,
it was nice.
whatever you call it, the
Yeah.
pregame. And 9:07 p.m. local time is when Bartolo hit the home run. So I talked with Howie about this. We had a whole discussion about this. Remember crop tops for Howie?
Yes, of course.
Our discussion. And Howie gave his blessing that we can use his call for a commemorative T-shirt that is going to come out
Awesome.
this Sunday.
Will it be made in a crop top?
It will not be made in a crop top.
Oh, that's fine,
Only
I'll try it.
because I'm not exactly sure how many people are going to want this. So how many shirts do I have to commit to? I'm not
That's
really
fair.
sure. So the whole process behind this is going to be a pre-sale. It is not going to be available forever. If you want one, set an alarm for Sunday night at 9 o'clock, just so you're ready. And at 9:07, the listing that's already up on the site will go live. You can pick between small and 4X. This is just a T-shirt. So if you are looking for something more fitted, or you're, you usually like a crop top or a women's T-shirt or whatever, maybe just order accordingly. This is a
can make one yourself.
unisex T-shirt, unisex sized T-shirt. If you can't see and you're listening afterwards, on the shirt it says the 7-line Army in right field might tear this ballpark down. And on the bottom, I have a little slide here to show you guys a little bit closer. It says Howie Rose, San Diego, May 7th, 2016. the Mets logo next to it, and obviously our little branding underneath it. So I actually broke my rule here. I did not put the T7L in the upper corner here, only because I felt like it took away from like the design aspect of what it was. So if there's a T7L up there, it would have looked weird with like the smaller Howie Rose underneath.
Yeah, I agree.
So this one, I just broke my own rule, is not going to include that. If you haven't heard the call,
it also says the 7-line army on it, so I feel like it gets the point across.
Oh yeah, totally. It says the 7-line army gigantic, in the quote.
You're fine.
If you haven't heard the call, I don't know where you've been, but it was part of our 2016 documentary that the Sports Illustrated did on us. And this is a clip from that right now. Let me show you guys. This was like my first time using not the first time, but
picture and video feature.
Using a picture and a video in one tweet. So this is the first slide. Bartolo looking up at his home run down the left field line. I'm surprised his helmet didn't fall off. And this is the second slide.
7-line army in right field might tear this ballpark down.
That's an insane moment to be a part of.
Good.
So I feel like if you were at that game, or you're just a big Bartolo Colon fan, or you want to just commemorate that historic moment, which will never happen again unless they put, the only pitcher that's going to hit home runs is Ohtani because he's a DH.
Right.
But I don't really see it happening ever again.
Mm.
So that is what it is. If you're interested, go to the7line.com this weekend. I'm pretty sure it's our first time ever releasing something on a Sunday night ever, and it being 9:07 p.m. So this is going to be a pre-sale. We are going to print them to order. So it's going to take at least like another extra week or so for delivery. But you guys are used to us being pretty quick with the deliveries. So
you could wait a week.
You could wait an extra week and it'll be worth your while. So while we're on the topic of Howie Rose, I know I'm basically, you know what our shows should be called? What? Julia catching up on what happened what happened
Filling
that
Julia
week.
in.
Fill Julia in on what happened in the week of Mets stuff that doesn't happen to have to do with the wins and losses.
Filling Julia in on orange and blue things.
So if you didn't see, the guest was announced. QBC is putting together a lunch with Howie Rose.
Oh,
so they did
awesome.
this once for Keith Hernandez, or with Keith Hernandez at McKellar. And now this one is going to be with Howie at Catch.
Nice.
And the way that they're doing it is, I will post the link right here so you can see it. It's on Media Goon's website. Where's the details? It is going to be on July 29th at Catch. And it's going to be from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And it includes an hour lunch, a panel with Howie, and a signing afterwards. And they always try to bring someone cool to these events. So they picked Howie for this one.
Awesome.
Howie's going to be the man of the hour, the man of the 2 hours. And then that same day is an outing. So if you are going to be in the area, it's going to be a night game that night. So the good thing about this is if you want to go to the lunch with Howie, this is a long day for Howie too, because he's going to do this and then go call the game. But so July 29th, who do we play that day? Let me double check. But the Mets have a home game. We have an outing that night. Julia doesn't know, but I will look it up because who really knows besides John Flynn, who's playing on July 29th at Citi Field. But the Mets are playing the Washington Nationals, and I believe it's a night game. So
perfect.
Go hang out with Howie first, come over to the tailgate afterwards, and then watch the game that night. So that's the story. Tick Pick, we already gave a shout out to them, but if you didn't see it in the beginning, I don't think we even said the promo code. I think I forgot. So Tick Pick, we love them. Go over and pick up your tickets to pretty much anything that you want to attend. Mets games, Taylor Swift, Supercross, Knicks, whatever it may be. Use the special promo code OABT, and that'll get you $10 off any order of $99 or more in the app or on their website for first-time users. If you don't have the Tick Pick app, I don't know why you even go to events and pay full price, because not full price, but why use another
extra fees, more than full price,
a different secondary market and pay more than full price,
right?
And all these service fees and whatnot. So that's the story with that. Boston tickets. If you're looking to hit Boston with the Sunline Army, those tickets are almost sold out. So head on over to the sunlinearmy.com. Yes, we do have a website for the Sunline Army. You could scroll down and see the available tickets that you could pick up right now. A lot of the ones are already sold out, but Boston, I'm pretty sure we're at about 1,300 now. So we have 300 tickets left. They are available while supplies last. Head on over to sunline.com to pick those up. And I think that we pretty much covered all of our stuff. Mental health, Italian heritage.
I really didn't look down at this much.
Lucchese, Scherzer, and Verlander in line for Detroit. We'll see what happens with the weather out there. Don't forget this weekend at Citi Field, even though Julia isn't a gigantic fan. The Mrs. Met handmade by robots knit doll, which isn't a doll, it's like a figurine, I don't know what you want to call it, will be available for the first 15,000 fans. The Mr. Met, which was supposed to be last weekend, will now be given out during the makeup game. I can't remember when that is. So shout out to the Mets for sending these over. We are giving these away. We'll pick 2 winners because we have 2. So go on over to the 7 Lines Twitter account, look at today's show and retweet that, and that's how I'll be put in the running to win. So
Fun.
anything else you want to say? I appreciate you being here.
No, thank you. Also, I don't even know if you explained like why this day was so chaotic for me, but like it got even more chaotic on the way over. So for those who don't know, like I said, I work at a senior dog sanctuary. We had 3 dogs that needed to be put down this morning. It was fucking brutal. So
our biggest topic of the show. I'm so sorry. I cut
that's totally okay.
I'm so sorry I cut into your story. I feel like I'm so insensitive.
No, it's okay. But what was it?
The hair.
Oh my god, the hair. We did. We meant to talk.
We cut over the hair.
We can. I mean,
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
So unfortunately, I kind of feel like a dick.
It's fine. I'll cut to the chase. One of the dogs we brought.
You're talking about putting dogs down. I'm talking about Vogelbach's braids.
Hold on, it's okay because it kind of has a happy ending. We brought one of the dogs we put down. The emergency vet said he had enlarged heart. He was in heart failure. We bring him to the normal vet to bring him down. They're like, no, he just has an ear infection that makes him have vertigo and faint.
You're about to kill this dog.
Yeah, and they didn't put him down. So one of them lived, happy ending. But I came over and like I was like, already grieving him, and then found out, oh no, he's actually alive. We brought him back. So that's good. Anyway, let's talk about hair.
Oh my god! Can't believe I skipped over this. You know what? I didn't even write it down.
On here? Yeah,
no, but
fine.
not that it's like this big topic.
No, it's not a big topic.
We were texting
Vogelbach
about
has
it.
hair.
Vogelbach showed up yesterday with like 2 French braid like cornrows or whatever, and then he had a great day at the plate.
I can't.
So, just like we were saying the other day about like the patch, like the gigantic patch. The Mets were playing good with the big patch.
Yeah.
They went back to the small patch and they started losing. I was like, man, they should have kept the big patch.
The big patch.
If you show up on a doubleheader day with hair like this and then have a big day at the plate, you better be keeping these braids for as long as
I really want to know, 1, who did it for him? 2, what the reaction was when he walked into the clubhouse looking like that. Because I would have paid to see a video of each player's reaction.
It could have also been like a bet thing, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's incredible. I want more context. But it does beg the question, best and worst Mets hair of all time.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of almost forgot. Look at this one. These photos, I guess like a lot of fans were basically like seeing him on the broadcast, like
what
doing screenshots.
Is that?
What is going on with Vogelbach's hair? Is this what ball players do on rainy days? That's from Bruce Gamsey. What the hell is going on with Vogelbach's hair? That's from David Sorrentino. There was another girl, I can't remember who she's like, this is what happens when you put a white boy in Queens with hair, white boy with hair in Queens, and he gets braids.
I can't.
So yeah, we were texting like, oh, so who did have good hair? Who had bad hair? I mean, I guess some people will beg to differ that the one player could have the best and worst hair.
Yes, it depends on what you define as best and worst. I personally thought Noah Syndergaard's hair was disgusting. Like
because it was
scraggly
long
and gross. It just didn't,
wasn't like full.
It didn't look clean ever.
DeGrom had a great flow.
Yeah, DeGrom's looked like
Blevins had great flow. Selman had great flow.
Yeah,
but we're just talking about like long hair.
No, that's just flow.
But then like Lindor had the blue hair. Every player in 2016 had the blonde hair.
Yes, Mike Piazza didn't he have like frosted tips?
Yeah, he
did.
Yeah.
Iconic. There was also, what did they do? I think it was 2007. They all shaved their heads.
Was it?
I think it was
2007.
Oh yeah.
I remember Dave Wright shaved his head. A bunch of guys
they
shaved
all
their
did.
head.
They all shaved their heads. Yeah. So hair.
Give us some honorable mentions in the comments and we'll shout them out. But
I will also say another person who's just like, all around, I just never thought looked put together. And I will say he does now, but Justin Turner, his hair, it was just always.
Well, you know what the issue is? Not the issue, but like own it if that's how you feel. But
it was
like,
just the big beard with the long
Well, he
hair.
also was like bald. So like when he would he had the big bald spot in the back, which is whatever.
Oh,
you're
I
a
didn't
man,
even
you get
notice
older,
that.
you
But
lose
I
your
just
hair.
when he had like the long hair with the beard, I was like, I can't.
It just looked weird when he wasn't wearing a hat. Like, I mean, I'm my hair sucks. Like the beginning of my hair is like thin.
Remember when you found out live on air that you had gray hair?
I still don't believe I do. Yeah,
that was so good.
So I mean, yeah, it's tough to throw shade when you also don't have great hair, but that's what we do. We're We're allowed to
Just
talk shit.
talk shit behind our little microphones and hope the right people don't hear it.
So we asked the question, who has the best and worst hairstyles? Speaking of talking shit and hoping people don't hear it, remember when I was like not really, I wasn't trying to talk shit on Gelbs.
I knew you were gonna go to Gelbs when you said that.
And then I fly out to, where was I? Miami, opening day. We're on the same flight. And it was a day after where I was like, wait, I wasn't really trying to talk shit on. We're talking about things that like,
I'm sure he didn't even hear it.
I don't know. It's like I was talking about something the other day with
You were
somebody.
talking. It was the K corner. How it's like, you were comparing the K corner to Steve Gelbs and McFadden to Kevin Burkhardt.
Yeah. And then the next day he's like, what's up, man? Like I'm waiting in the tunnel like to get off the plane because I didn't like Zappa put his bag like 4 rows back and like once everyone stands up, you can't really get to that.
Get to it.
So I'm standing there and he walks by and I'm like, fuck. I was like, I wonder if he knows. Like I wasn't trying to talk shit, but I kind of was talking shit. Anyway, back to hair. Do you have any place to be?
No.
Okay. Sorry, because I know we're at an hour. And
no, we're good.
I don't want to rush you.
I was late. I owe you like 5 minutes.
Okay. So that brings up the question, best and worst hairstyles on the Mets over the years. And I asked some fans for nominees. This isn't really a hairstyle, but that's funny. When Robin Ventura dressed up as Mike Piazza, that was a rain delay at Yankee Stadium. This is something I'll always remember. What's up, dude? How's it going? We talked about you a little bit ago about how you saved $32, but then you had to come and pick the shit up. So now it's almost an inconvenience for you. Okay. Oh, can you do me a favor? Can you go into the next room and there's a box and there's Lindor bobblehead with the that grows grass? You'll see it on the floor.
Oh, enough of the goddamn grass.
Yeah, in there. So if you remember, you probably don't remember because you probably weren't even born. Yeah, you weren't. In 1986, all the Mets wore red wigs to honor Rusty Staub here.
Yes.
Hold on one second. This isn't.
If you're wondering who that mystery hand was.
It was the general. And Julia. Before we move on, does this also suck because it grows grass?
That it's cool.
Oh, this is cool.
That it grows grass? Yeah, because that's magic grass. What you have is just grass that the grounds crew got seeds from a warehouse and planted. Citi Field did not grow the grass.
Okay.
It's just grass.
Anyway, back to the hairstyles. Citi Field grass. Anyway.
Bye.
See ya.
Oh.
Asdrubal Cabrera when he dyed his hair. Blevins, look at that flow from Blevins. That
I
looks
forget
beautiful.
him ever having that kind of flow. I know. I'm sorry, Lizzie.
Here's your boy, Syndergaard.
Gross.
Mike Piazza.
Mike, did you ever watch the movie from the 80s, The Outsiders, based off the book?
Yes, I did see that.
Doesn't he look like when Ponyboy dyed his hair blonde to avoid
a little bit.
arrested?
Yeah,
he looks like Ponyboy.
Yeah, a little bit. There's Lindor with the blue flow. Vogelbach again. Look at Henry Mejia.
I kind of liked it.
It was popping. I almost forgot it was that out of control.
Fun. And he was just so chaotic in essence.
This was a great gift.
Yes.
If you're not listening, if you're not watching, I guess that's why I put together a bunch of gifts when like gifts became a thing where you could actually like search for them and use Twitter and embed them. But it's the one of Blevins wearing the Syndergaard jersey.
I really think that Travis Jankowski looks like Jerry Blevins wearing the Noah Syndergaard wig. Like that was my first impression upon ever seeing him. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, I could see that. So anyway, that's the story with the hairstyles. Let us know in the comments what you think. Who has the best? Who has the worst? Thank you, the Mets, for sending this grass-growing bobblehead, Francisco Lindor. It's pretty sick. On the back, it has instructions of how to grow the grass.
You should really, at this point, just get like a landscaping
I
sponsor.
need a grass sponsor.
You need a grass sponsor.
So I guess
I will never read the promo.
I can't remember the date on this, but I think it is one of our outings, which I'm pretty sure is sold out. It says that you have to be 8 and older to play with this on the bottom. And you spread enough of the potting soil to fill up the inside of the base of the bobblehead. Evenly, a lot of things on here. Evenly spread the seeds around the soil and make sure they are in contact with the soil. Add a thin layer of soil on top of the seeds and water the bobblehead base. Put your bobblehead in a window where it gets plenty of sun. Keep your bobblehead soil moist until seeds sprout. Water it every day.
Me and Andrew hate that word.
Moist? Seeds should sprout in approximately 15 days. So I've never bought a bobblehead.
Lizzie, you have a new project.
It's heavy too. 6
This
rules.
will not be Darren's responsibility.
6 rules on this bobblehead. All right, guys. May 20th. Thanks to Tommy Hom in the comments for letting me know when this giveaway is. Keith Hernandez. shaved his mustache on the final day of the season. I don't know what that has to do with hair. I'm just looking at some of the comments here.
Don't sass our fact checkers.
Well, I know that we know that happened. And Richie wanted us to know and remind us that he bleached his hair in 2016.
Oh,
remember when we were at that bar in Patchogue?
Yeah, I wasn't
Did you do
there,
it
but
too?
I remember that.
Oh, barbecue. So he did it. Shu did it. A bunch of people bleached their hair. Some. I remember didn't Brew bleach his beard?
So much.
Yeah, it was like green. Yeah. All right,
Right.
guys. We will see you next week. Shout out to you. Shout out to anyone watching. If you're listening afterwards as a podcast, make sure you rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on or watching on YouTube, do the same. Retweet if you want one of these knit figurines, Mr. Met and Mrs. Met from the Mets.
Handmade by robots.
Handmade by robots. Shout
Whatever
out
that
to,
means.
I think it's the company is called Bomba. Shout out to them. And if you're out in Detroit, stay warm. And hopefully the Mets do get a healthy Lucchesi, Scherzer, and Verlander out there before we head back to Citi Field this weekend. So shout out to Tick Pick. Shout out to you guys. I have some interesting beer news coming out next week, I believe.
Oh.
And it's not going to be ready by Saturday, I don't think, but
Okay.
stay tuned for that. All right, guys, have a good one. Let's go Knicks. And
You threw out my paper.
see you later.
Skip it.
It's called Scoob F
Scuba.
Knee T Tup.
Oh, somebody wrote it. You
No,
had
I just
it.
read it backwards.
Yeah.
All right, that means put in the books.
Scuba it up.
All right, bye.
Bye.